Selling your car to Carvana is as easy as...
As easy as pie?
Sure. All you have to do is enter your license plate or VIN.
As easy as a stroll in the park.
Okay, then just answer a few questions and you'll get a real offer in seconds.
As easy as singing.
Why not? Schedule a pickup or drop off and Carvana will pay you that amount right on the spot.
As easy as playing guitar.
Actually, I find that kind of difficult. But selling your car to Carvana is as easy as...
Can be.
Visit Carvana.com or download the app to get an instant offer today.
Well. Shopping for a car?
Yep, Carvana made financing a car as smooth as can be.
Oh, yeah?
I got pre-qualified instantly and had real terms personalized just for me.
Doesn't get much smoother than that.
Well, I got to browse thousands of car options on Carvana, all within my budget.
Doesn't get much smoother than that.
It does. I actually wanted a car that seemed out of my range, but I was able to add a cosigner and found my dream car.
It doesn't get much...
Oh, it gets smoother. It's getting delivered tomorrow.
Visit Carvana.com or download the app to get pre-qualified today.
Shut up, lady.
What would you say is the sound effect that you use the most? What's your go-to?
I mean, it would probably be something along these lines.
Yeah.
Or if I'm joking around, I'll be like, oh wait.
Did you hit the doorbell one?
Oh, that's it. You got it correct.
Oh yeah, I love it when you sometimes my favorite is when Chris hits the doorbell button or something else by. There it is.
Here you go. Say a good joke.
I don't know. You know, when someone asks you to tell a joke, you don't have any chambered. I don't know. That's what's happening right now.
Well, that's what happens to me every time I get on stage as a comedian. I just kind of walk right back off.
Yeah. Well, you know what's funny is I've prepared some sets before. You've done a little bit more stand-up comedy than I have, obviously, but I've prepared stuff before, but I can never stick to it.
Yes,
which is really tough.
It's because you're ADHD.
I'm a tangent guy.
LMNOP QRS TUV. When you're on stage, you see a squirrel, you're like, ah, you're staring at it.
I'm more of a. I'd have to be a Robin Williams type comic up on stage where it's like I got 3 or 4 things, and other than that, I'm just like riffing, because that's what I do when I'm doing like all my presentations. I mean, for a job, I literally talk to people, for a living.
Yeah.
And I can never go unprepared. I try to, and I just doesn't work.
Well, I interviewed Frank Caliendo back in the day. He's also a comedian that does voices really, really good at his job. And he said that every time he's on stage and he feels like he's bombing, he always reverts back to Robin Williams type comedy, which is him just having voices talk to each other for about 45 seconds, really quick back and forth. Nobody can keep up, but they all start laughing, and then he can go back into his set. How funny is that?
Yeah, but I know that it's just because we're all created a little different, right? It's just how it would work. Like if someone else is going to go up on stage, they might need meticulous notes. They might need to have a million things written out and have rehearsed a million times. It almost works in my detriment, because I tend to freeze up when I have to stick to a specific script.
Well, if I practice it enough, I nail it. I do well, so I'm not too worried. I usually, what I do is, doing stand-up, you'd set yourself up, like go out there, get a joke or two, and then maybe do some audience work, and then jump into your set, or vice versa.
Yeah.
But, it's all good. Oh, by the way, this is We Should Be Better at This.
Yes, it is. This is the How to Be a Stand-Up Comedian podcast.
Which obviously we are not either.
Yes, I know. Neither one of those things exist for you. Hey, man, I was texting you over these past few days, just telling you
what you said.
How sick I was. So okay. Yeah, if you got those, go ahead and read them.
Don't
read the one where I comment about how the nanny that we have for the children is kind of hot, and I'm thinking of banging her. Don't tweet out. I won't want you to put that one out there.
I won't, but I'll read the other one about night sex. The first text was, I have violently vomited 18 times last night. It was a miserable night. Can someone overdose on Pepto-Bismol? I said, yes. What'd you eat? And then we went down a little bit more. And then I said, did you see pictures of your mom naked? Is that why you're throwing up?
By the way, I was delirious like when you were sending me this. So it was kind of in that weird realm where have you ever woken up from a dream and you can't really remember what was real and what's not. So like in my head, I have swimming around something about my mom naked. What? Like I didn't know.
Well, then
It
you
was
said,
such a daze, man.
then you said the next thing you said was no, but I did look in the middle of the night of the night after throwing up a bunch at my wife to see if she'd give me middle of the night sex and it would make me feel better. She said not a chance in hell.
Yes. Because even when I'm at my worst, I still must torment my wife just a little bit. Yes. So we never quite figured out what it was. We do think it had to have been something I ate. I either ate something poisonous or I, licked the wrong butthole, whatever it was.
Ew.
But something happened where I ingested something I wasn't supposed to, because there's the kind of throw up you have because you had a little too much to drink. I think we've all been there.
Oh yeah.
There's I got the poo poo caca diarrheas and maybe some throw up. I get that. I even get I got dizzy after riding the teacups at Disneyland and I'm feeling a little sick. All of that. That's fine. That's a different type of throw up. What I was throwing up was like hemorrhaging, body curled up, like very just violent. That's the best way to describe it. Throwing up everywhere. And it happened for over the course of 6 hours. And it just absolutely drained me of all energy. At one point, my eyes kind of like rolled back and I thought I was passing out. And it was just because of how draining the throw up was. It was insane.
Hold on. I put all of those symptoms into my internet.
And it says,
and
you should be dead already.
You have a new form of crabmedia. It's chlamydia and crabs mixed together.
Oh,
how'd you get that?
I don't know. I mean, my crabs are,
we're already. You do live in a tiki place, so
yes.
Crabs have to be all around. What's funny is now that I'm actually looking at the internet, the Google thing, it's like chickenpox kid and a medicine guy and a doctor. What the hell? Have you seen the Google logo today?
Yeah, I never understand what half of those mean. But so I was pretty miserable, man, and it absolutely drained me. We never quite figured out exactly what did it, but no one else in our house got sick. I didn't have a fever. It was nothing like that. I just violently threw up for quite a long time, and I was pretty miserable, dude.
Tell your wife I'm sorry. Her first chance or try to poison you to kill you didn't work out to get that insurance money.
I did ask, by the way. Yes, I did ask her. Because she said, well, what do you think caused it? I said, honestly, you want my honest opinion? I said, I think either you or one of my daughters tried to kill me with poison. And she goes, whatever. That. I'm like, I'm deadly serious. What are the odds that all three of my children, or excuse me, all two of my children and my one wife go their entire lives not trying to kill me? Like, honestly, what are the odds? At least one of them at some point is going to be like, I'm going to take this son of a bitch out.
I think
it's most likely going to be Monique. Yeah.
I think it's all three. Monique's just going to be the one that's going to give all the information over to Audrey. And then she's going to be the one that does it. And then Josephine's going to be like on a like building somewhere with a sniper rifle, just in case you walk out of the house.
Yeah. I think I'm okay as long as they're each individually trying to kill me. When they decide to team up is when I'm in real trouble.
Well, how much is your life insurance worth?
I purposely keep it very low because it's like, ladies, you need me because I'm paying all the bills. But yeah, so that was pretty miserable, man. And I was about as drained as a person can be. And it was shortly after the Super Bowl, which was
that happened.
Pretty interesting, I guess. Like, it was a fun little game. It wasn't anything magical, but it was pretty exciting. At the very end, I swear, Chris, I thought that pass that he threw on the 4th down when he was getting sacked by Aaron Donald.
Yeah.
I thought he was completing that pass that he just flung at that. Because if you look,
it looked like it.
It kind of looked like it. And I'm telling you, that guy was running a slant. And if he's catching that on the run while everyone else is spaced out, that guy's going to run for 30 yards before he gets tackled. And this is a whole different ball game. And this becomes like one of those Eli Manning to David Tyree moments where it's off the edge of the helmet or something. If he flings that ball another couple of yards, that would have been insane.
That would have been crazy. It was a good game. I mean, it ended the way it needed to end. If you think about it, I mean, Matt Stafford, veteran in the game, been doing it a while over Detroit, just cannot get into the playoffs or to the Super Bowl, gets traded, goes to the Rams, gets into the Super Bowl and wins it. But not only did it with his team after the first year, but they actually technically didn't have it, but they had home field advantage. So that's pretty dope.
Yeah, and he's actually a local boy too. He's from here, and in fact, he was teammates with. Who do you think he was teammates with on his high school football team?
I know this, but I can't remember.
Dodgers pitcher Clayton Kershaw and him were best friends on the high school football team, and then Clayton switched over to baseball, which seems like that worked out pretty well for him.
That did.
But yeah, no, so it was really good. I didn't go in rooting for the Rams, even though I'm from LA and all that, because I don't know. I don't dislike the Rams, but they're not exactly like my team or anything.
Let's be honest. You called it Stewie's head ball for the last 12 years.
Yes, this is also very true. But I thought after that third quarter, referee blew it, allowed Cincinnati to have that free touchdown. Oh, yeah. I think I started rooting for the Rams the rest of the game, because I thought to myself, if you lose a Super Bowl on a play like that, I just can't have that. So I was rooting for the Rams after that moment.
Well, not only did they have home field advantage and all that good stuff, Joe Burrow is also only in his second year. So, and he took the Tigers all the way to the Super Bowl in his second year. That looks great for that franchise too. So I don't really feel bad for him as much as that game just ended the way it needed to.
Yeah, it did. And honestly, hey, Cincinnati Bengal owners, I don't know. Here's an idea. Maybe go spend some money on an offensive line to protect that poor guy, because he was on the run for the entire game and the entire season. And that guy's career is going to be ended way shorter than it has to, because you're a cheapskate and you don't want to pay him.
Is offensive line code for cocaine?
Yes. Hey, by the way, then I need a huge offensive line. Huge offensive line.
Okay, well, so the Super Bowl did happen. Did you eat? Were you allowed to eat? Did your stomach not throw back up? What did you have for there?
So this is all before the throw up, but we went to a party and it was themed where the food was from the representative cities, and I was actually tasked with creating a cocktail menu based on the two cities. And so for LA, they went with street tacos, fish tacos, and Korean like food truck fusion kind of stuff, because that's very LA. And then for Cincinnati, because there's nothing they're known for, because it's like a culinary wasteland, they have this thing called Skyline Chili, which is a really shitty chili recipe dumped over spaghetti.
What?
Yes, that's literally it. And so what he did is he made a much better chili. It was really good and really spicy. He made that and dumped it over spaghetti and made it much more enjoyable. And then for my drinks, I made a tiki drink, because tiki came from Southern California. It did not come from
Tiki Barber did?
Yeah, no. Tiki cocktail. And then that's the other thing. I had to come up with a cocktail based on the Cincinnati. What is Cincinnati known for that's culinarily important or in the beverage? And it was not easy.
That's the first place I had White Castle.
I get really, yeah, but I don't know if White Castle is from Cincinnati or
representative. Probably not. And it was actually across the river, so I would have made something that's like river based,
Well, what I did is I found out that the fast food company Wendy's is from a town nearby, and what is Wendy's famous for? But they're Frosties.
Oh, geez.
So I did a Wendy's Frosty Freeze with bourbon infused, and I used a bourbon that was from Cincinnati, Ohio. And I found out that the person who invented Whoppers candy before it was sold to Hershey's was from Cincinnati. So I made a smashed Whoppers mixed in with a Wendy's Frosty bourbon infused chocolate dessert drink. And it came out awesome, actually. It came out really good.
That sounds involved.
You eat it like ice cream. You eat it with a spoon.
That sounds really, really involved. I would have probably just looked up the most wanted people of Cincinnati and tried to make a drink or something based on that guy's name.
Oh yeah, I don't know. I mean, it was fun. It was one of those things. It was a little too much work to have to essentially.
I'll be honest. I didn't think I was going to get that answer when I asked that question.
Yeah. No, I put a lot of work into it, man. I put a lot of work into
it. We had steak.
Ooh, hey, that's easy, but that's great. That works out great.
Yeah, that's not as good of an answer as yours, I guess. I don't know.
I guess not. Hey, but tell me about one of my most hated holidays of the year just happened. I think it's the most useless, but some stupid, dumb idiots out there still have faith in it and celebrate it. So tell me, what did you do?
Absolutely nothing.
Damn it! I was really hoping you did something extravagant.
No,
And I could call you an idiot.
We don't my wife and I don't do a whole lot because we are very lovey-dovey all the time. So it's like, why am I going to spend an extra $100 on flowers today that are just going to die on the counter and I'm going to throw them away in 4 days when we can just go to dinner in a week or something? So,
oh yeah, because where the prices are going to be different. And
hell yeah.
Yeah. Bring her home some flowers in like 8 days from now.
No.
For
What
one third the price.
One time I gave her weeds and I said, these mean more than flowers. They won't die. And they're just like me. I'm never leaving. Didn't work out so well.
Okay, man. Well, I did nothing because I hate that stupid holiday. And I actually think that's what made me sick, because the only thing out of the ordinary that I ate that day was a Valentine's cookie that my daughter tried to give me, and a little tiny piece of a cake that my daughter made for her boyfriend that was like a little tiny corner of a one. And I ate those two things. That was the only thing different that I ate the whole day.
Oh,
and so I think it was Valentine's that made me throw up so much.
I think it's do you say your daughter's boyfriend?
Yeah.
I think it's your daughter's boyfriend trying to kill you.
That makes so much sense.
He was there, right? That's what you said.
There.
He's the only guy you can't trust your kids, but I mean, you don't trust him.
Yeah, this is all starting to make sense. Chris, I think I'm in danger.
I know you are. You've been in danger since you were born.
Since I was born. Oh, Jesus Christ. But yes, that was the only weird things I ate. And then so the joke around the house has been love is what finally killed father.
Which I mean, that's going to be on your headstone.
Well, and so my joke right back to them is, it's like, yeah, it's because I'm so not used to it that when I get a little bit of it, it's just so overwhelming. I die.
Load your heart.
Yes.
All right, let's get off this garbage. Let's talk about Boba Fett.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so when we
Hold on, I have sound effects. Hold on. Okay, all right.
Can you do? Let me hear you do a lightsaber. Can you do a lightsaber impression?
No, it sounds like Chewie.
Yeah.
Oh no, sorry, wrong land. Okay, so Boba Fett's over. Wow.
Okay. Holy Jesus! I texted you.
I know.
By the way, when I texted you, we weren't even done watching it. There was like 5 more minutes left, so there was more after I say. I'm sitting there texting Chris, going, "Holy shit! Like, how many? I don't know whether to call them cookies or flash. I mean, like."
Eggs.
How many? I don't even call them plot points, because it was just a bunch of shit happened,
Yeah.
and it was so many things. So many things.
Remember last week when I was like, remember when you said you wanted him to write a Rancor?
Yes.
He writes a fucking
Totally
Rancor.
Rancor. Now, okay, you're gonna have to, because you watched it multiple times. You're gonna have to walk me through, because I mean, I swear my head was swimming afterwards, trying to figure out everything that I had seen, and even talking with Audrey about it, and trying to figure out what she had heard and seen and didn't see. It was mind-blowing how in-depth this finale was. It was a really well done finale.
Yeah, there was a ton going on in this episode between like all the bounty hunters that were there teaming up against the Spice Runners, because what's his name, Chris Satan, was on his team now, and then you had Finnick Shad and the biker weird kids, but it all started at the end of the last episode where they blew up that bar. They stayed in that bar rather than going back and trying to find I don't know, Sanctum in the palace.
Did you at the time, did you think that was a bad choice? I was telling them the whole time, like, no, you go back to your stronghold. Why are you fighting in the open streets? I actually didn't like that decision. I thought that was a poor choice.
I thought they did it because they were going to attack the people. That's why they didn't want the people to get attacked. But he could have taken all of them into his palace. Let's be honest. Anyway, so much happened. Okay, so then they stay there. They get attacked, and it's by those 2 big ass robots. Well, yes. First the Spicers, but
what I don't remember what those robots were called, but basically it almost looked like the ones in the Phantom Menace that roll up, and then they have the orb around them that makes it almost impenetrable.
Droidicas.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's a destroyer. It's got the force field. It looked like giant versions of those, which was badass.
And what's great about those, what I've always liked about those when they appear, those types of weapons when they appear in the Star Wars universe, is okay, too many times it's someone shooting a blaster that never seems to run out of bullets or run out of energy, or someone swinging a lightsaber, but they never accidentally cut themselves and like chop off a hand or anything like that. Like none of that stuff ever happens.
Yeah.
But like it has to be believable that there's these machines out there that are so badass that when people see them, they go, well, all right, that's the end of it. Like it just, anytime you see them in any of the movies or any of the shows, it's always like, well, you're pretty much going to die or everything's going to get blown up because these things can't be beat or they're very, very difficult to beat.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you there. And it's funny because the son, my boy, and I, we were walking through the new Star Wars land, Galaxy's Edge at Disneyland, and we saw some of the battle droids from the movies that, you know, how big they would be in real life and stuff. And man, they were like 7 foot tall. They were scary. Even just those dumbass droids that go Roger, Roger were kind of scary. But yeah, these other ones coming in with like force fields and stuff. You got
just
like,
knowing that you can't, they're never going to run out of
anything.
ammo. And no matter how much you throw at them, it's not going to hurt them. Like that's just got to be defeating. Like as soon as you see them coming, just like, all right. So, and that's kind of what happened to our characters, right? They kind of thought,
they thought they were done.
Oh shit, we're kind of screwed here.
Yeah, they thought they were done. And then, I mean, long story short, by the way, spoilers.
Oh yeah. Boba well, listen, like a gazillion people watched it, so I mean, I'm sure everyone saw it.
Well, Boba Fett takes off. He jumps and goes. Since those droids are those, I don't know if they call them droids as much as I would call them just like giant
battle
robots.
bots.
Battle bots deploy. Besides those, you know, just ravishing the town, you know, and then Grogu shows up with the shirt on.
Yes. Now, okay. That was a tender moment. All my kids were like all teary and like, oh my God, that was he showed up as a shirt.
Question.
Yes.
So did he pick the shirt over the lightsaber? Or did he pick the lightsaber, kill Luke, and then take the shirt?
I think he did not do that because that would be pretty messed up. But
plus we also know Luke's alive.
I'll tell you what, though, I was rooting. I mean, we're gonna jump forward and then we'll jump back to in time here. But at the end, when that dark saber was whipped out,
yeah,
I was kind of wanting little Grogu to grab onto that and say, "Oh, now I can have this one," and just be like, push the Mando aside and be like, "I'm taking this." And I'm going to go kick some ass like Yoda did in Attack of the Clones or whatever.
That would have been cool. Do you think that Grogu will teach Mando how to use the saber?
I do. I think that will be in a future Mandalorian season. The other thing I wanted to bring up that I noticed, I wanted to see if you noticed was, I think we know this is what happened, but they kind of give you hints over these last couple episodes when you see where Grogu's training with Luke.
Yeah.
That's the same location in Kylo Ren's flashbacks of his rebellion.
Yep, it is. It totally is. It's Luke's temple where he's training them, and then that's where it all goes to hell when he turns on Kylo and Kylo turns on him and everything blows up and burns down. Yeah, no, totally is. I've seen pictures of them side by side. It's pretty dope.
Cool. I think it's Yavin 4.
That's what it's called.
Yeah, I think Yavin 4 is the moon that cool. It's on. It's like that where A New Hope took place.
Yes. No.
So, yes, because they had a rainforest jungle. And then that's where it was.
Yes, you're right.
So I think that's, but anyways, it was just really cool because when we were seeing that, and Audrey and I were kind of talking about it, of like, oh, they're giving you. That's what I've been loving about all these shows that have come out is they're dropping in these like little breadcrumb trails that lead back to the originals and stuff like that. That I think is really cool.
Yeah, a couple more. Yeah, I 100% agree. And every time they show different parts of Tatooine, it references back to like either the prequels or Star Wars, the original. But there's a couple other things that happened. RIP to the green guys. The green piggies died.
Yes. Oh my God. They were, like I said, when this season first started, those were the guys, one of the few Star Wars toys that I ever owned because we were poor. It was those little stupid green guys. And so I remember them fondly, and it was, hey, they fought to the bitter end, Chris.
They didn't. They just fell off a cliff like
they did, right?
They didn't fight at all. They just backed up until they died. But
of all their fighting and all their like, rough, gruff. I'm not gonna die. I'm never gonna whatever. This entire time, and they died just by falling off.
Backed up into a freaking canyon, idiots. But so then, that happens. Those big giant robots are going around killing and destroying the whole city, and then here comes Boba Fett riding his Rancor.
Yes.
Oh my God, that was so cool when you heard the and everybody stops and looks.
Yes, and how everyone stopped fighting, kind of. Like, if you look, everyone just was like, well, let's watch how this develops.
Even the robots stopped. I don't know how that happened.
Yeah, the robots are like, what is this? Yeah, super cool, and great fight scene. I think well choreographed. It wasn't like the Rancor just came in and easily defeated him. I mean, you could see how hard those things were to defeat, that the Rancor was actually having a hard time and looked like it was gonna lose there a few times. But yeah, everyone kind of banded together. There was some great I loved when the Rancor was like what was it? He like jabbed through the eye.
Yes, of the robot.
Yeah, that where he like, because I think the robot shot him, and he was like, and it really hurt, and he's like, "Hey, asshole!" And he's just like right through the eye of that. So yeah, they're great fight scenes, and then the great kill scene by, oh gosh, I'm so bad with her name, Fennec
Shand.
She goes in and all like stealth like kills. How many people does she kill?
Takes out all the spicers, the people leading spicers. Yeah, but before that, you had the only thing about the Rancor that really kind of frustrated me was the fact that, you know, Cad Bane came out, threw a little fire in his face, and he ran away like a little bitch. I was kind of mad about that because, you know, you're a Rancor, you just fought robots, you tore them apart, you probably got shocked a lot. A little fire is gonna hurt you, but it had to happen so Boba Fett could kill him.
Yeah,
which was cool, except he was such a cool looking character.
Yeah, but I almost did kind of think that they were going to keep that character around for longer.
I did too. That's why seeing him die kind of sucked. But I know there's so many characters out there. The thought is now that they're going to start bringing in Star Wars Rebels people, Ezra, and stuff like that, because the timelines are starting to cross paths.
Yeah. And then let's talk about some other stuff that happened. What's another one that jumps out to you?
At the end, like you, wait, hold on. You said kill scene, blah, 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 blah. Oh, yeah. Fennec Shand went in and killed the rest of the spicers. So it's like no spicers are on the planet now. And Boba Fett's getting all this love. And then it shows Mando in his Naboo fighter with Grogu sitting in the back, flying away. What happens? That's such a cool part.
Yes.
Where he's sitting there and he like knocks on the window and Mando's like, no. Knocks on the window.
Keeps doing it. No.
Okay, last time. And then he just floors it. It's like they keep making the 60-year-old alien seem like a kid, so it's kind of fun.
Going back for a second, just because it's been on my mind since we just mentioned it. Just going back a second to we were talking about how the location of Luke's academy, and we all know what happens with Kylo Ren and all that kind of stuff. Do you think that the timelines work out that if Grogu had chosen to stay, that he would have been one of the ones murdered by Kylo Ren?
I think that would have been, I mean, I don't know, Luke was 50, so then Kylo Ren was in his 20s, so it would have been a while. I think Grogu probably would have been a Jedi by then, don't you think? But he might have been working with Luke still. What if he turned out to be one of the Knights of Ren?
Oh, that's interesting too.
That'd be hilarious. It was Grogu just kind of walking behind him. But no, I think he would be there still somehow, or at least working with him somehow. Maybe not there when that happened.
Interesting, but okay. So anyways, so the episode goes on. Obviously, this is also in a way setting up Mandalorian season 3, I think.
Oh yeah.
You know, with how they've hinted at some stuff, especially with him coming back. They're together. You obviously now see that Grogu has Force-like abilities and powers.
Yes.
You just don't know how strong or capable he is with those. So he's probably still growing in what he's able to do as well. I mean, I guess the same story as Luke, right? Like how Luke left his training early. I think Grogu is going to be that same thing where he still doesn't quite have it mastered, but I think they're going to have CGI Luke appear to Grogu as Ben Kenobi did to Luke.
I agree. Also, if you think about it, didn't Grogu heal Mando once, or heal something once?
Yes, I think he did.
So he has the same powers as Rey.
Is Grogu Rey's father?
I don't know if that's possible. It's a Palpatine. But no, I don't know. That's all stuff to think about, because it did happen, which there are not many Jedi that can heal people. Rey was one of them, but that was also a sign of the Sith. So
Yes.
I don't know. What do you think? Grogu's a Sith? That'd be dope.
No, that would be dope though. Yeah, that would be actually pretty awesome. So basically all the Pike leaders are gone. You know that the Boba Fett now has the honor of the city, I think, or that area.
He's the jester or whatever they call him.
Right. He's whatever, the Daijong Gindo or whatever it is. And that final episode there, I mean, the whole season felt very Western, right? It felt like you were watching Turner Classic Movies and you were watching a Western. Because it really was. Think about the town they were in. Think about how the showdown was like a high noon showdown. I mean, the entire theming of it was a Western. And I think it ended like a Western where the hero might have to die to save the rest of the town. I mean, it literally was a Western in a sci-fi setting.
That's what they're going for. So they nailed it.
So they definitely redeemed themselves
under the things. Right now it says action, adventure, and sci-fi. It should say Western under it too.
It really should. It was a total Western. I would say that they definitely redeemed themselves because these last 2 episodes of theirs was really incredibly strong.
Yeah,
I thought the first 2 episodes were really strong. I thought the last 2 were incredibly strong. So here's to them. Here's my prediction though.
What?
I actually don't think there's gonna be a Boba Fett season 2. Well, I shouldn't say not a season 2. There's not going to be a season 2 for a while on Boba Fett. I think there's so many other things in the pipeline for the Star Wars universe and the Marvel universe and everything that Disney has that I just don't see them pumping out a Boba Fett anytime soon. I think it's going to take a while.
Yeah, I mean, I see that because there's, now that he has all the civil unrest locked down, there should be some calm times, but you're right. They got Mandalorian season 3, which I believe is the last one, coming out very soon. Yep. You got Obi-Wan Kenobi. That's also coming out along with Ahsoka series. And Anakin Skywalker shows up in both of those, or Luke and Darth Vader and stuff. But there's flashbacks.
They have one called Andor coming out. Yep.
With God dang it, what's his character's name? The dude from Rogue One. What's that dude's name?
Oh, I'm drawing a blank on his name.
I know, I'm trying to find it right now. He was Cassian Andor, played by Diego Luna.
Yep.
Yeah, he was a great character. So that's gonna be based around him. I'm stoked about that. So besides all that, they will come back with a Boba Fett probably. I don't know.
Yeah, I just think it'll be a few years. Like, okay, what is this? 2022 and it just ended. I bet you it's 2024 before we get a new Boba Fett.
Probably, but what's the next movie?
No, does the next one.
I don't know where it's going to pick up because the Skywalker saga is over. What's going to start next? The Palpatine saga?
Maybe, or whatever.
Maybe they're just going to take all these TV shows and make them cross paths in a movie, and they're going to call it Star Wars is.
They're going to try and do a Guardians of the Galaxy style. Hey, what if we put a few people from different Star Wars eras, whatever, and put them all together and they make wacky comments at each other and try to defeat a villain? I bet you it's going to be a Guardians of the Galaxy style.
And then they race across the country and all have to get to this locker to try to open it up and get a $2 million purse. And
we call it Rat Race.
It's called Star Wars' Races.
Yes.
Star Wars is just.
Star Wars is this.
Star Wars is just. There's a Skarsgård that's going to be in that Andor movie.
No, I didn't.
I just found that out right now. Anyway, that's it. Cool. We're done, right?
Yeah, we're done.
Okay. Well, then go to thisisfunner.com. Check out all the other podcasts and online content that are up there. And a new season of Listen to This coming out next week.
Very excited about that. The first episode is all songs about scrotums. So everybody look out for that.
Wow. I haven't edited it yet. Thank God. All right, guys. Talk to you later.
Bye-bye.
Selling your car to Carvana is as easy as...
As easy as pie?
Sure. All you have to do is enter your license plate or VIN.
As easy as a stroll in the park.
Okay, then just answer a few questions and you'll get a real offer in seconds.
As easy as singing.
Why not? Schedule a pickup or drop off and Carvana will pay you that amount right on the spot.
As easy as playing guitar.
Actually, I find that kind of difficult. But selling your car to Carvana is as easy as...
Can be.
Visit Carvana.com or download the app to get an instant offer today.
Well, well, well. Shopping for a car?
Yep, Carvana made financing a car as smooth as can be.
Oh, yeah?
I got pre-qualified instantly and had real terms personalized just for me.
Doesn't get much smoother than that.
Well, I got to browse thousands of car options on Carvana, all within my budget.
Doesn't get much smoother than that.
It does. I actually wanted a car that seemed out of my range, but I was able to add a cosigner and found my dream car.
It doesn't get much.
Oh, it gets smoother. It's getting delivered tomorrow.
Visit Carvana.com or download the app to get pre-qualified today.